This episode is brought to you by Support the Mountains Herbal Parasite Cleanse. This formula targets the small and large intestinal tracts and larvae, the most broad-spectrum formula available today. 100% organic, formulated by Dr. Mikio Sankey, author of the Esoteric Acupuncture series. For 10% off your first bottle, visit shopyogahub.com and use the coupon code CLEANSE at checkout. Hello and welcome to YHTV's Flowing into Awareness with visionary and master intuitive Anatara. I'm Christina Suzuma, your host for this program. Today we shall talk about an invitation to change with the beautiful Anatara.
Good day to you, Christina.
Hello, Anatara, and a good day to you.
Now,
are we rocking and rolling in change?
Are we ever? All of our listeners don't know that you and I have been talking about change now for about half an hour, and you know, just recounting to one another the kinds of changes that we're experiencing, and so many people, hopefully, actually,
yes,
are in these phenomenal personal experiences of change all around them in the concrete things in their lives, their appliances, their cars, their homes, change in their workplaces, change within the parts of society that they flow and communicate in, change within the community, and then, most of all, change within the self. Because all of these things that we're watching change all around us, they are calling to us. They are inviting us to change, inviting us to see something differently, to have different emotion about what we see is changing around us, guiding us so that we don't have to be so personally frustrated when we see everything seemingly disintegrating around us. Change not only in relationships, both casual and very intimate, but the kind of change that's really happening there is a way to see how to change how you respond to it. All right. So when I talk about these invitation to change, I want you all to know that you are being called on by yourself, by the part of you that wants to feel free and peaceful and loving and neutral to all of the change around you. That part of yourself is calling you through all of these other signals to find some change. So you could try to run away, but whatever it is that you need to change is going to catch up with you and grab you. It's going to bite you in the butt.
Ouch.
Could be gentle. It depends on how you would like to receive all of this change. Many people I know are feeling the recurrence of physical, what we might call disease or illness. As something like a sinus problem that you've had all of your life. It's become aggravated. It's worse now than it's been in a long time. Some people might have a sore back. Some people might have the recurrence of, let's say, a bladder infection. It doesn't matter what it is. You are being reminded that there's a part of you that has become solid. There's a part of you that is sort of crystallized within your physical body that represents something within your emotional and spiritual fields that want to be free, that want to become unstuck, unattached, and go off in their own beautiful flow through all dimensions. So. So what do we do? I've been trying to help people sort of notice things, say to themselves, "Oh, that's a little interesting. How can I reframe my opinion of this? Can I look at this challenge as being something that I am strong enough to advance through? Can I look at this challenge, this frustration, as something to show me something new? How can I creatively interact with this dynamic, massive change that I really don't want to face?" There's one more element of this that's fairly important as well, which is that when things are on a subtle level, we can ignore them for the best part. We can think, oh, that's just a slight twitch, or that's just a little bit of a pain, or this this inadequacy or hesitancy or irritability that I feel in relation to friends or work or life or children or partner. This is just something small and it will pass. I really want everyone to know that those things are popping up because you have invited them to, so that you can change how you view it and therefore how you view yourself. So what sort of change is happening for you right now, Christina?
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's been such a whirlwind. And it's to the point where I can't do anything but laugh, because every day there's so many. And I have to be, I mean, the beauty is it's environmental, it's physical, and it's with relationships. And again, I, like you, have been working with clients because they're going through this massive change. And I've gotten them all to laugh about it, because it's just, it is so much. And it's creating that balance again. And you know what's really interesting, Anatara, is it could, some things could be viewed as a challenge, right? You know, like, how do I approach this? Where do I go with this? You know, especially with relationships, that's really going around a lot these days. It's like, you know, oh, this has come up and this aggravation and that. And you're right. You know, for so long, people have just shut the door and gone, "Rah." And I look and go, look, we're just specks on a planet. And these moments is also for us, maybe not to take it on head to face, or, you know, to look at it, honor it, and understand it, and release it to the universe. So it's not about if it's an aggression with someone. It's not just about, okay, well, how are we going to settle this? And what are we going to do about it? And, you know, how am I going to face this person? But maybe it's come to the point where it's not about that confrontation, but it's about taking back a step and saying, is this really that dramatic? And do I really want to spend the time with this? Is this really worth it with this individual? Is this really, and it's not about challenging us emotionally, but it's about understanding where the balance is, what society tells us what we must do, and what we actually, as individual beings on this planet, how we're going to play with it. And maybe these individuals don't belong in our pod any longer because we've moved on to another pod, right? And I think those are the big shifts, the environmental shifts. You know, it's like, all right, no computer, no refrigerator. Okay, but, you know, it's who we are inside. What you said about our internalness, how this is affecting us inside. It's actually the fertilizer to us blossoming.
Oh, it completely. And everything that gives us a little bit of a challenge or a little bit of a nudge or just it comes through in some emotion that we want to be rid of. That is where the gravy is. That's where the sunshine is. That's where the truth of what is changing is hiding from you. And it's trying not to hide. It's trying to say, here I am, pay attention to me, work with me, laugh with me, relax with me, take me outside and dance with me, whatever it might be. You know, the way you were describing the different kinds of things that can challenge us, when we resist one of those messages, when we resist the feeling of one of those things, that's when things become so crystallized and so locked. And when they are locked in like that, and we are fighting it or ignoring it, because ignoring something is the same as fighting it. You're creating a wall, you're creating distance, you're creating a way through which you cannot be soothed. Oh, does it ever? So where is your fluid parts? You know, where are the fluid parts of you? What about you is fluid? When you look at that person that you think, well, maybe this person isn't part of my immediate pod, allow them to flow into being a part of your understanding of the greater pod, the greater consciousness. It's not that person exists to drive you crazy, although that might happen. And it's not that person exists to shut you down. That person exists so that you see how to relax with it, not take it personally, and flow into the next stage of your own lightness of being.
Yes.
That's what we're after.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Whether, there's so many pods out there, right? With those dolphins, there are so many pods, and let's see which pods that we're playing in now. Right. And hopefully, as we get through life, it's at a higher stage of consciousness, it's at a higher stage.
Well, it really can't help but be at a higher stage of consciousness.
Yes.
Because with all of the earth changes happening and what that means for humankind, it has to be at a higher level of consciousness. Now, some of this might be questionable based on some of the horrific events of the past few months, but even those horrific events exist to allow themselves to be cleared, to be changed, to coalesce and invite everyone's higher sensitivities to come together in a kind of light of love, so that the negative and the horrific and the fearful can rise up and be and just dissipate. That's what's happening.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I agree. There's it's creating that balance again, testing us all as one as opposed to separate. Yes.
Yeah. Well, as individuals, we separately have our challenges. That becomes part of the overall challenge.
Oh, here we go. Riding those waves.
Ever riding.
Oh, this is wonderful. Thank you so much, Anatara. This is, I think it's, will really remind us to continue to flow no matter what happens around us and within us. And of course, we would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us in this new platform of education and information. We're grateful for your continuous support, and we look forward to hearing your feedback on how we can serve you better. You can also connect with Anatara by following her on Twitter at Anatara and on Facebook at Master Intuitive. And of course, through her own website, anatara.ca. Anatara.ca. We would love your comments, questions, and even suggestions or topics that you might like to talk about or would like Anatara to focus on. Leave us a comment or a message anytime there on your computer screen, or you can give us a call at 818-LETS-TALK. 818-LETS-TALK. Until next time, namaste.
If we believe and if we know that we are not alone, then so many of the fears and the things that feel tenuous to us in our lives, it disappears, because you know you don't have to decide something on your own. You don't have to create or recreate something on your own. That you have the possibility of group mind working with you and assisting you in your discovery of who you are and what you are, in your